Now some questions by icyevilchief. Question 1. What are some of your favorite internet reviewers? My absolute favorite has to be Confused Matthew. Don't get me wrong, I love me some AVGN and Nostalgia Critic, but I find their reviews more along the lines of entertainment rather than criticism. They're good to watch if you want a good laugh about a bad movie or video game, but if you want something a bit more substantial, I suggest Confused Matthew. He puts a lot of time and effort dissecting the movies he reviews. He actually leads you through the movie and points out every flaw and weakness. I know that sounds exactly like how the Nostalgia Critic reviews his movies, but while he focuses more on ridiculing the movie with puns and gags, Confused Matthew focuses on criticizing and assessing the films and its flaws. And while the Nostalgia Critic reviews mostly bad movies, Confused Matthew tends to cast a critical eye on popular movies like The Lion King. Yes, he is infamous for criticizing The Lion King as a bad movie. But that's what I like about him. He offers a different perspective on films most consider good. It proves that he's able to form his own opinions and not follow what everyone else thinks. Trust me, The Lion King was my absolute favorite film growing up as a kid, and I still enjoyed Confused Matthew's review. I thought he made a few good points, and I have to admit, some parts of The Lion King are pretty stupid when you think about them. Question number 2. Who do you think is the worst internet reviewer? ShadowBlazeX8. Actually, he's the worst internet celebrity ever. I still wonder why he has so many subscribers. Heck, I wonder why I even subscribe to him. Talk about an anomaly. And finally, question number 3, do you think you'll ever change from the Roxas pics to something else? Right now, I'm comfortable with using Roxas as my avatar. If I ever plan on changing my avatar, it won't be for a long time. Honestly, I don't know what else to use. If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to leave them. Here's some questions from DMEAddiction. Number 1, do you like mudcaps? Not really. And question number 2, do you speak any language other than English fluently? When I was in college, I took courses in Spanish and Latin, both which I forgot. Question number 3, what's your favorite RPG? There's Kingdom Hearts for one, but that's more of an action-adventure game than an RPG in my opinion. To be honest, the only RPGs I've played are the Pokemon games, the GBA version of the original Final Fantasy, Mario & Luigi's Superstar Saga, and the emulator version of Chrono Trigger. If I had to pick the best, hands down it would be Chrono Trigger. The game was revolutionary for its time, with excellent graphics and music, a battle system unlike any other, and a complex storyline with multiple endings. Plus, it actually succeeds in the time travel department. The only other game that does it better is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Now some questions from Green Phoenix 91. Question 1. What's your opinion on the plot device known as power-ups? Example, Super Saiyan Bantai. I haven't watched that much Dragon Ball Z, so I really wouldn't know much about Super Saiyan. To be honest, I haven't seen that many anime that require power-ups as plot devices. I don't know. As long as it's not forced or contrived, I think power-ups are necessary in order for the characters to become stronger and better. Question number 2. What genre of video game would you want to specialize in? To be honest, I haven't been playing that many video games. I don't know. I think I may be outgrowing them or something. If I did want to specialize in a specific genre, I guess I would have to say RPGs, since they tend to be story-oriented as opposed to other genres. Yes, other games do have storylines such as first-person shooters and action-adventure, but RPGs are usually more story-oriented. Considering that the games allow you to take the role of the characters, thus the name, I like anything as long as it has a complex and compelling story to it. Question number 3, what's your favorite myth or religious tale? I would have to go with the Odyssey. Honestly, any Greek myth is a favorite of mine. I don't know, I guess Greek mythology is a prime example of what most people think about mythology. Now some questions from Lizadow. Question number 1, which would you prefer to watch, Nostalgia Critic or AVGN? Personally, I liked them both, but if I had to choose, I'd go with Nostalgia Critic. I just find his brand of humor to be more entertaining than AVGN. That and he updates his videos once a week, versus the AVGN who updates every month. Question number 2, what do you think is the most annoying internet meme? The facepalm. I wouldn't say it's annoying rather than it's overused. I know it's supposed to be a response to something that's so stupid words can't describe how stupid it is, but most of the time I feel it's used as an excuse not to give a reasonable explanation to something. I partially blame cock-a-doodle-doo, or I mean cockapus. Sure, I tend to use it, but I always follow up by explaining why something was that stupid as to elicit a facepalm. And question number 3, what is your favorite book? I would say the Harry Potter series, but that's too cliche. My next favorite series would have to be the Chronicles of Narnia series. I know this may even surprise you and other people, but I actually prefer Narnia over Lord of the Rings. Don't get me wrong, Lord of the Rings was an excellent series, but it was such a long and tedious read. It took me an entire summer for me to read it. On the other hand, the Chronicles of Narnia only took me 2 weeks to read. Lord of the Rings is an excellent adventure story, but Narnia is quite frankly easier to read. Now, some questions from LittleOtakuGirl. Question 1. You ever heard of Michael Dragon 8000? No, I have not. Question number 2. What do you think of Japan thinking of Sonic as an American character? Japan thinks Sonic is an American character? Seriously, I'm surprised by this. One would think that a Super Blue Hedgehog is an idea only the Japanese can come up with. Just take Katamari Damacy. Why Japan would consider Sonic an American character is beyond me, though. Considering the insane fan base here in America, one could only assume. Question 3. What do you think of having Japanese people watching your videos? Japanese people watch my videos? Seriously, I'm surprised that I'm this popular. Never mind that I have over 200 subscribers, I have some subs in Japan. I'm a worldwide sensation, people. Anyway, to my Japanese subscribers and viewers, konnichiwa! Question number 4. Are you a fan of Death Note? I only have read a few manga and seen a few episodes. Overall, it looks like a really intriguing series, something that I would definitely look into. I find the entire concept to be very original, especially for an anime. Though now that I think about it, it does strike some similarities with Donnie Darko. Think about it. A depressed high school student befriends a dark creature and receives the power to affect other people's lives. Yeah, not hard to see the resemblance. But I'll give it credit, it's way more original than other anime. At least it's not another monster capturing series, or big robot series, or Shonen Jump franchise, or at least a generic one. Killing Spree Prod 1 asks, question number 1, what music genre do you hate? Rap music. Especially gangsta rap. You know that rap is actually an acronym, right? Retards attempting poetry. Question number 2, what do you think about Coughlin666? He is an asshole and an atheist, so that's 2 strikes against him. But to be fair, he has created a few good videos, especially against that hate-monger Pat Condell. One video favorite of mine has to be his Make Religion Illegal video, which he attacks atheists who claim religion should be eliminated and outlawed. His rebuttal was that it was impossible to eliminate a series of beliefs, no matter how many laws you passed. He also refuted the claim that atheists are more rational or intelligent than religious people, asking how Francis Collins or Ken Miller could be considered uneducated, yet Tom Cruise and other Scientologists, which he pointed out as being atheists, could be considered rational. I may not completely agree with the guy, but he has earned some of my respect. Question number 3, what do you think about Straight Dope? Haven't seen many of his videos, but the few I have seen are pretty good, especially those against trolls and e-beggars. And while he claims to be an atheist, the majority of his videos are against atheists like The Amazing Atheist, Anissian, Fakeful Sagan, and Do Not God. I respect people who can criticize within their own group, as it shows they can think outside the box. And question number 4, if I had to pick, which Michael Moore movie was the best? None of them. I never watched a Michael Moore propaganda film, documentary, and I never will. Now some questions from my good friend, Mr. Punch Drunk 1. Question 1. What's your favorite one of my videos? It's a two-way tie between your commentary morons who don't know anything about capitalism and anime Jason's talking chimera. On the one hand, you have a Sonic fanboy who honestly thinks that Sonic could easily cross over with The Little Mermaid, and on the other hand, you have a bunch of Disney fans who hate Disney because of the generic hate fodder like Hannah Montana and High School Musical. But to be perfectly honest, I think most of your videos are pretty good. Question number 2, besides anything from tubers, what was the lamest hate comment you received? Well, like I mentioned in the Fightmaster 3000's question, it would have to be the shitload of troll comments I received when Latham Wayne made his response video to my commentary, and I'm only fortunate that it only lasted for 2 days. Question number 3, do you think it's stupid Cartoon Network still airs live-action shows? So, do I think it's stupid that a channel called Cartoon Network airs live-action shows? Do I really have to answer that? And finally, question number 4. What do you think of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood so far? Best anime ever. Seriously, this is one of the best anime I have ever seen. I would even argue it's the best anime ever. With every new episode, the story becomes more complex, the characters more developed, and the entire world larger and deeper in its scope. The storyline has a very good pace. It's not too fast that it seems rushed, nor is it too slow that it seems to drag on forever. It's also free of any filler episodes or pointless side plots, which makes it a vast improvement from the first series, which suffered from slow pacing, filler episodes, and pointless side plots, not to mention that it deviated from the manga. But then again, this was when the manga was still being created. I also enjoyed how the first season ended on such a high note of a cliffhanger. It just makes me the more eager to see the second season. And finally, question number 5. Besides Christian, who do I think is the worst of the Sonic fags? Alex Hennerol, a Knothole Residence, Spax3, Guttle89, or Bloodshot? In my opinion, a Knothole Residence. He has to be the epitome of everything wrong with Sonic fanboys. The fact that he gets upset over a teaser trailer of Sonic 4 because it uses the 3D Sonic design rather than the sprite images is just pathetic. Never mind that the trailer only showed about 3 seconds of gameplay. Never mind that the game is supposed to emulate the look and feel of the original Genesis games. Sonic 4 sucks for a Knothole Residence simply because Sonic is in 3D. That's the problem with Sonic fanboys. They think that the only good Sonic games were the original 16-bit Genesis games. Any games made after that fall short in their eye. The only way they're going to be satisfied is if Sega re-releases the Genesis and starts making 16-bit Sonic games again.